Open up for questions. Let's begin with Katie Wingy. Katie, go ahead.
Coach, happy birthday. How about that? Describe the atmosphere in the locker room with you guys. We saw a little clip of it, but water bottles everywhere. How proud are you of this group?
So proud. I mean, all the guys committed, never got down, believed in each other, believed in themselves. In light of all the noise outside of this series that we had no chance, we had people guaranteeing it, and we found a way to beat a really good team 3 times. And I've run out of things to say, that, Katie, but Jamal Murray, 40 points in a Game 7. Nikola Jokic, a triple-double in Game 7. And our defense, that's a common thread here. And both come from behind series wins. Utah, now the Clippers. I thought our defense the last 3 games was just incredible. We have a special group. We still have a lot of work to do. Western Conference Finals. We know we're playing a very talented and well-rested Laker team. But I do know this. Our guys are up for that challenge.
All right, next we'll go to Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, what does it say about your team that just even getting to Game 7 wasn't good enough? That there was still more to attain and more to climb, and that they weren't satisfied, to use your word?
Yeah, our goal was never get to a Game 7. Our goal when we started this whole season was to win a championship. And as outrageous as that may sound for people outside of our group, we never lost sight of that, and we kept our belief in that. And I think it's been evident in the first round, down 2 starters, other guys step up. We get Gary Harris back, and down 3-1. I think this is our 6th straight elimination game, 71 days in the bubble, and just to stay together. That commitment, that toughness is, you don't see that around very often. So that speaks to the guys in that locker room and how much they truly love each other and care about each other and are willing to fight for each other. And that's why I enjoy being around this group every single day. Enjoy the journey, but more importantly, enjoy the journey with those guys in that locker room. And it's just an amazing feeling.
All right, next we'll go to Mark Kisla. Mark, go ahead.
Congrats, Coach Buttermaker. Nicely done.
I appreciate it, Kiz.
Jamal Murray, 20 points in the second quarter. And that in itself is pretty darn good. But talk to me a little bit about not just rising to the occasion in Game 7, but how he consistently energizes your group with enthusiasm and confidence.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that second quarter, Kiz, and I think that was the key to the game. They came out in that second quarter and were pulling away from us. They gave us a knockout punch. And were we going to get off the mat, or are we just going to stay down and just kind of let that game slip away? And I think we showed the heart of a champion, the heart of a fighter. And Jamal had a lot to do with that. We closed that second quarter on 11-2 run, I believe, to keep it within striking distance. We came out in that third quarter engaged, defending, and playing the right way. And Jamal, how many times have we seen it? Our season's on the line, need somebody to make a big play, and Jamal Murray steps up. And that's why when you think about our team, you think we're doing with a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, and we're making the strides that we've made. Not only am I excited about this moment, I'm really excited about what is to come. And, last year we got to the same situation and lost to Portland. To get over the hump against that team, growth, improvement, belief, and, the sky's the limit for this team. We're not afraid of anybody, and I think we've proven that time and time again, kids.
All right, next we'll go to Dave McMenamin. Dave, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, congrats on a big win. I'm sure you want to put the attention on your players and Murray and Jokic and everybody else, but what's this experience been like for you coaching this team, watching, being in the gym for these games? To me, it seems like you're having so much fun coaching them. And the fact that this win comes on your birthday, do you reflect on your basketball journey?
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. Obviously never had a game on my birthday before because we've never been in a pandemic in a bubble before. But this is the first time I've been away from my family on my birthday. So I think about my wife, my kids, I think about my mother and father, and all my brothers and sisters who are the biggest Nugget fans in the world. And I am having fun. I am enjoying this. I've learned a long time ago, we put so much into these games, so much preparation, so much work. If you don't enjoy it, why are you doing it? So I really try to make that a point of emphasis for myself. I don't want to be overly negative. I want to support our guys. I want to give them belief. I want to inspire them. I want to love them so they can play the best basketball that they're capable of. And I think we've seen that in two series now. And we're going to need more of that. We're going to need a lot more of that moving forward against the LA Lakers.
All right, next we'll go to Scott Cacchiola, who's there. Scott, go ahead.
You mentioned 2018 before this game, the Minnesota loss, obviously. I was just curious, were there seeds of anything from that experience that this group went through that was galvanizing, or did you sense right away that something, that it was a moment?
Yeah, I would say two things with that, Scott. You know, we had like maybe, I don't know how many games to go in the season, 15 games. You know, we lost a couple of games. We lost at Memphis. They had lost 19 in a row. They beat us. We lose an overtime game in Miami. Everybody's kind of like, you know, giving up hope on us. We lose in Philly, then lose to Toronto the next night. And after we stayed over in Toronto, we had a team meeting, and I remember this. And I grabbed that guys. I said, "Who still believes in this room? Who's packed their bags and said, all right, you know, let's just ready for next season? Or who still believes that we can make the playoffs?" And that stretch run, even before we got to that Minnesota game, showed me we had a team that believed and was willing not to quit and relent and give up, which would have been so easily available at that time. So it wasn't just that loss in Minnesota. It was stepping up prior to that game and giving ourselves a chance to get to that point when most people counted us out. The second thing I would say, what was most inspiring about that loss in Minnesota, Minnesota had mortgaged their future in essence and gotten a lot of vets, Jimmy Butler, Jamal Crawford, Taj Gibson. They were going for it. And what I took away in that game was the two guys that rose to the occasion in that loss were Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. So the seeds were planted, the belief, the resiliency, and those guys stepped up on the biggest moment. You find out a lot about people in these moments, in game sevens, in elimination games. And, man, have we passed the character test or what? We've done it time and time again. So I think that season, that result, even though it was a disappointing one, ownership, front office, coaches, we said we got something special here. Let's stay with this. Let's see this grow. And now you're starting to see the payoff.
All right, next we'll go to Harrison Wind. Harrison, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, I know we've talked a lot about physicality this series, and from where you guys were in that aspect in February, when you lost to this team in blowout fashion and your guys kind of came together and had a meeting after the game, from where you were then to where you were now and what you were able to do in the fourth quarter, what can you just say about that aspect of your team?
Yeah, I think for some reason there was a narrative out there that we're a soft team. We're a finesse team, and I think that's something that players have taken personally. We had a bad game in LA out of the All-Star break. It happens. It's happened to every team in the NBA. But I think when you look at our complete body of work, some of the teams that we have beaten, I know that we're not a soft team. I know that our guys are willing to show up and fight and compete like we've done time and time again. So, and to me, I think the defense, you know, like Wes Unseld, I got to give Wes Unseld, my whole staff for that matter, my whole staff, I have a great staff. I have a bunch of head coaches on my staff. Wes Unseld should be a head coach, right? He mans our defense. I trust Wes to do his job. And our defense in the last 3 games has been phenomenal. And to hold that team to 33 points in the second half, I think last game they scored 35 in the second half against the highest rated offense in the first round of the playoffs. That's unheard of. So we gave them a game plan. We made the adjustments, and our players bought in, and they went out there and got the job done. So it speaks volumes about our group.
All right, we have time for one more here. We'll end with Kyle Goon, who is there. Kyle, go ahead.
I know you've had a relationship with LeBron for a really long time, and you guys played a lot of tight games with the Lakers. Was there, not that getting to play the Lakers was your goal in this series, but was there ever a moment when you were playing the Lakers or that you've had where you thought, hey, if I have a chance to just match up with these guys, have an opportunity to beat them in a series? Have you thought about that moment possibly?
Obviously, you know, as the players are taking place, you look at what's going on in the other series and who's winning. And you know, at some point, they're the number 1 seed. We had 3 really close games against them this year, games that went down to the wire. In the seeding game, we played them to the wall and didn't play a bunch of our main guys. But those games mean nothing. They're out the window. It's going to be a new series. Obviously, I have the utmost respect for LeBron James. I had a chance to coach him for 5 years. Know who he is and what he's about. And I'm sure he was watching every one of our games, taking notes because his intelligence is off the charts. But we're going to celebrate this win tonight. By no means are we satisfied, but I think you have to celebrate the moments. That's something I learned from my parents. So this is a moment. It's my birthday, and we're going to go party.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
In the bubble. Appreciate it, guys.